a really good guest on this week's show, man. When I tell you, dude's been making strides. And we feel like it was only made sense for us to be able to have him here, talk about the 116 life he's living. We got Dante Pride in the building.
Hey,
what's up, bro? Bro, how are you feeling? Fit is fresh, too.
Yo, I appreciate it, man.
Like you were saying, the jewels is dancing.
Like my brother Ace, man.
Setting your goals too low, brother.
Man, listen, you've had, I'm not gonna lie to you, life's been really exciting for you. If I could give insight, shout out to my church, Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I first got introduced to you when they did the Undefeated Champion album, and you were on Overflow. And I was just like, whoa, this, I love, of course, seeing even CHH represented. So being able to see what was to me a new face. And then I think we met at Mike Teasy's event, being able to see you and your beautiful wife there. And just, be seeing you rise, what feels like a short amount of time to us, but I know we're going to dive more into your story. Just talk about like what this season of life has been just unfolding for you right now, what it's meant to you personally.
Man, this year, these past few months, it ain't been a year.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been crazy, man. Like, it's just a testament of God's faithfulness. Like you said, man, I've been doing this for a while, but to some people just seeing this, they just think like, yo, like this has just happened over time. And so really this just shows me that one yes can just change your entire life. And so, man, I'm grateful.
Man.
That's amazing.
Those yeses, I'm not gonna lie, saying yes in the season where you've been pushing real hard, you can get weary. Talk about what it's been like looking back now, how grateful you are for those yeses. Like what those sometimes those yeses feel like you want to say no, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that. But talk about your gratitude for the yeses you gave in the seasons where you had to overcome, certain struggles and just pushing through.
I would just say this. I think the biggest thing for me is like just learning the difference between obedience and grind. And so with that being said, like it was things that I said yes to that I wasn't supposed to say yes to. And there was some things that, God was trying to get me to do that I was just sitting back on. And so what I mean by that is, the pivotal point in my career that really just turned things around for me came from a yes. So, just looking back in hindsight, like different things and stuff that I said yes to and maybe I didn't get put in the forefront, that was still God. And so I think a lot of people that, they think success is like, growing the social media numbers, streams and stuff going up. But it's like, when I look back in hindsight, like the yes and stuff that I gave back then, the sacrifices that I made back then, it's like, yo, like all of that was not in vain. And even to this point now, you got followers, you got fans and stuff that are looking at you and stuff now. And I'm just looking back, it's like, yo, like none of that matters if he's not applauding, if he's not clapping. And so I think like the biggest thing is, man, like the yeses that nobody knows about, like that's the thing, that hypes me up, that makes me happy. And so I think now people are just being able to just see the fruit of my labor from my yeses back then. So
talking about fruit, let's get into the roots just a little bit when it talking about just music for you. Was music always your yes? Like was this always what you wanted to do? Like you knew since you were a kid, like I want to have a music career.
Crazy thing is, yes, music has always been a yes for me. When I was in the second grade, I literally used to write Christian hip hop rhymes on the back of my test papers. Second grade. So I'm a PK. And so my uncle, he was a youth pastor. And so I was in the back of his truck and I had older cousins and stuff that always used to play secular hip hop music. And so I used to love the beat and stuff. But when I was at home, like I couldn't listen to it when I was at home. So my uncle that was a youth pastor, he was playing music in his car and it was an artist by the name of Canton Jones.
K. Jones. Oh, you lying. I grew up on K. Jones too,
Yeah, so I'm hearing the beat and stuff and now I hear him say Jesus. I'm like, what? Like, this is a Christian song, and that literally changed my life forever.
Okay, pause. From one KJO fan to another, what were the songs that you grew up on?
Man, Password. Stay Safe. I mean, all the classics. What's another one? That I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
Like I'm an OG KJO fan.
No, same, absolutely.
Okay, so I was in the second grade, heard that in the back of my uncle's car, man. And after that, man, I would come to school, second grade, and I would write rhymes on the back of my test paper. And so my teacher caught on to it. She was like, what is he doing? Like, what is he writing? So she looked at my papers and she actually gave me a Christian hip hop CD.
What? Your teacher?
My teacher gave me a Christian hip hop CD.
It's public school or Christian school?
Public school.
What did she give you?
So it was a local Christian hip hop
out
artist
to
that
locals.
was in Alabama. She gave me the CD, and then shortly after that is when I found out about Lecrae. And so ever since then, so a lot of people. So I'm still young, like I don't even share my age often, but I feel like I'm at home.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say
Okay.
I just turned 27.
Oh, yeah.
And so for a lot of people, they like, man, like you still got time and this and that. But it's like when God has placed a desire in your heart at such a young age, you can imagine how long that has felt. So being in second grade, writing rhymes, to being in middle school, recording my first song, burning CDs, passing out CDs to the people in school, and they laughed. Like I remember my 7th grade year, I got bullied for passing out CDs for Christian rap song.
Oh, because it was Christian rap?
Yeah, they had never heard of it. They like Christian hip hop, like this man rapping about the Lord. Like they
What kind of school were you at? Like what's the dynamic? What's the demographic? What kind of?
So we were diverse. So yeah, it was really just half and half.
Sure.
So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So hold on. So this teacher, did she like know you couldn't do that? She was just like, I'm just gonna give you a Christian rap CD. Like, did you realize at that time, like, man, she's kind of going out of her way, out of her profession to kind of share the gospel with you? Did you ever think about that?
I think at the time, I know they were kind of lenient a little bit. They weren't as strict as they are now with like bringing Christianity, in school.
Sure.
And so I guess she was just ready to risk it all. She was like, he writing something, and she looked at these rhymes and stuff, and I guess she was just like, let me bless this dude with a CD.
Dope. So dope.
So you being a PK, I'm curious to know, when did your parents know about you writing Christian hip hop? How did they feel about it? So on and so forth.
So they knew I enjoyed it. So especially my pops. My pops was very old school. So I put him on the Kenton Jones. I put him on the Kenton Jones. I put him on the Lecrae, Cross Movement, the Ambassador, all them. And so he was digging it. But when I told him that I wanted to rap, he was like, hold on now. Like, what? Because I think he started to see how much time I was investing in it. And this is overtime, like middle school. I spent a lot of time writing music. I was in my room. I used to have people from my school come in and out of my room, like
to hear you rap,
to hear me rap, and some record music.
So you had recording equipment in the crib?
I had recording equipment at the crib.
Your parents bought it for you? Like, how'd you get it?
So every time I would get some money, like from my grandparents or whatever, like I literally would just put that to the side and just get equipment. So
you were focused.
I was focused. I had a USB mic. So I had bought a USB mic.
Plug it into the joint. Yeah.
And I had this software. It's called Mixcraft. And so with Mixcraft, I literally used to buy, like, let me say that, I ain't even buy it. Like, I used to just sign in with different emails to get different subscriptions so I can keep recording.
The hustle.
So,
you do what you can.
You was a hustler.
I was a go-getter. So my pops would tell me, like, yo, like, this is your bedroom. Like, this ain't a studio. Like, why you got all these folks coming in and out the room? So I would have maybe 2 or 3 friends come over and record or just listen to what I was doing.
So how did that feel for you, knowing like you put your dad on, okay, he rocking with Kenton Jones, he rocking with Lecrae, Cross Movement, but wait, you say that you're going into it, you get a different reaction. What were your thoughts on that in the moment when you kind of realized that the full support wasn't there?
At the time, as a kid, it hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I played basketball in school too. And so, they supported with basketball and things like that. But when it came to the music thing, it was like, nah. But I feel like at a young age, I realized it was like, yo, the only reason why they really have an issue with it right now is because they never seen it done before. And so at a young age, I just had a grace from my parents. Like I always, and my wife would tell you, my family would tell you, like whenever I put my mind to something, like I'm doing it. So it don't matter what anybody else got to say. And so for me, like, I was young and getting booked at shows and stuff in middle school. And so I would have times where they would tell me that I couldn't go. Like, my father would tell me like I couldn't go to those particular shows and stuff. And at the time, like, he just didn't get it. Like, he didn't understand. I feel like part of him as a father felt like he was protecting me from something. He's like, yo, like, he's going to get into this music thing when he get out of school and stuff probably, and it's not going to work.
You kept going.
And, he's going to fail. He ain't going to know what else to do. So I feel like at a young age, my pops felt like he just had to come in and just protect me. So.
How was your grades at the time? Like, I know you was like really grinding with the music side. How was the performance on the education side? So
my mom was a school teacher. So my mom, she was checking them grades every single day. Like I was one of them kids. My mom, I'll come home and she'll be like, "What was this 0 about?" And I'll be like, yo, like they gonna let me make it up. That ain't the
That's
final
the best
grade.
excuse. They ain't put the real grade
They ain't
in
put the
yet.
real
Mine's
grade in.
okay.
We all getting to do it over. And so my grades were pretty good. I remember 8th grade in high school, I kind of spiraled a little bit.
How bad?
Man, it was pretty bad.
You crashed out a little bit. Was it behavior or just grades or what?
Man, it was all of the above.
Say more about that.
So man, that year I decided to take on a lot. So I already hooped. And I played football as well.
Oh, God.
So I had jumped into football. That was like my first year playing like school ball. I didn't play after that because I rode the bench. I was like, I'm not doing this again. But anyway, my mind was just everywhere. I was trying to fit in. I think by that time, 7th grade, from getting bullied from making Christian hip hop music, in 8th grade, I felt like I had a statement to make. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all know me as this. Y'all knew me as this last year. So 8th grade year, this new year knew me. And so I was the class clown. I was the jokester.
Okay.
And so my grades just began to slip. And it wasn't even the fact that I wasn't smart. Like I just wasn't applying myself.
Sure.
And so that definitely, you can only imagine that 8th grade year, it wasn't no music. It wasn't no going to no youth event. And so part of that too, my parents could use that somewhat as a punishment because they knew I loved going to these different youth events and stuff. So.
So when did you start to lock back in? Was it like that high school that we start to lock back into music and your career?
High school was all gas, no brakes.
Wow.
When I got to high school, like I said, I'm still hooping and stuff at the time. But there was a local radio station still there. It's called 103.1. It's a hip hop and R&B station. They used to do this thing called Homegrown. And so literally the songs that I recorded in my bedroom, I would literally submit it to the radio station and they would play those songs. And the school literally would let me get on the intercom and announce like, yo, like I'm Dante Pride. Like my song would be the first Christian hip hop song on 103.1 tonight.
That's so dope.
9th grade, I was hitting up the talent shows like all 4 years of high school. Like I was locked in.
Now, were you trying to take basketball like outside of college or were you just trying to keep it? Because I was going to ask you, did you have to make a decision choosing between the two?
So you probably have heard of First Priority, like the things they do, like fellowships of Christian athletes and stuff like that. in school.
Okay, sure.
And so I used to rap and stuff at those events, and so my team would come out and support. Like the coach, the basketball team would come out. So 10th grade year, I'm getting ready to go into playing junior varsity basketball. And I had went to my coach after I had made the team. Like they did another trial. I had made the team for JV. And I went in there. I told my coach, I was like, hey, like I don't want to play basketball anymore. I just want to rap.
You really picked a side.
I really picked a side. And so my coach was like, he wasn't thrown off by that. He was like, man, well, I was looking forward to having you this year, but I get it. And so I did. And I think at that time too, I think that's when people really thought I was crazy. They're like,
you was driven.
Yeah, I was really driven. I was really like that.
Okay, so what I want to know is from high school is when you chose a side. So what was it about music that made you want to go all in opposed to going all in to basketball?
Just the way that I feel like it was a calling. Like, I knew at that age that God had called me to it. So, and then also too, like I had reached that point where I'm like, yo, I'm not going to the league. Like this, I'm not going to the league. I'm not going to pursue this, in college. And so music was my passion. It's what I love. And I even grew up around music my whole life as well. My mom plays the keys.
Okay.
My great uncle's a producer. We actually had gospel groups. So if y'all listen to Quartet music, I grew up Baptist. So
right.
so my aunties had a group and all of that. So music was just always embedded in me. But that age, I just knew the impact that I could have on my school because in high school, they started to respect it. Because at that age, like, I'm going to youth group and things of that nature. We had a big youth movement and stuff that was in my hometown, Decatur, Alabama. It was called Elevate.
Alabama, gotcha.
And so I said, yes. I was like, man, let's go all in.
Right.
And my team, the coach, they supported it. So
that's dope. So like you, at this time, I don't know how many people we've had on this show who have been pursuing like not just a rap career, a Christian rap since 6th grade.
Yeah.
That's normally it's like, yo, I found Jesus in like high school.
Yeah.
Or I, was doing mainstream rap and I came over at 22.
Yeah.
You've been trying to be a Christian rapper since you were 11 years old.
Facts.
And like, talk about that journey. Like, does it feel like, man, this took a long time to get to, like, talk about like the patience you've endured to kind of get all the way here, bro?
Man, it felt like it didn't took forever.
Gotcha.
And my thing is, I think this is the beauty in it. I don't feel like I've arrived, and I feel like no one should ever be at a place where they feel like they arrived. It's like no matter how high you get, you'll never be high enough. I'm realizing more and more every day the highest place in the room is at his feet. And my thing is, if I'm not in alignment with what he's called me to do, man, I failed. And so for me, man, throughout this journey, like you said, middle school, wanting to be a Christian hip hop artist, I was that worrisome kid that was in everybody inbox, like, you know, looking for opportunity. Like, you know, you probably will see some old DMs of me, probably in Ace DMs, look crazy. Like,
we should all pull up the DMs. Like, do like this is Dante Pride shooting his shot for. But so when you're in high school, how's your brain? How are you processing this like pursuit of this gift and calling with like success? Are you like, man, I gotta do this? I'm just being faithful for where I'm at. What was your like mindset at like, you know, like a 15, 16-year-old trying to pursue Christian hip hop? Like, are you like, man, this better happen tomorrow, next year? What were you thinking at the time?
At the time, I really just thought I was gonna be this kid Christian hip hop artist. I thought I was gonna pop off like that. And so there were times and stuff where I'm like, yo, I was discouraged, like, yo, like this probably not gonna happen right now. And so I just had to keep encouraging myself. Because like in my hometown, I had there was a Christian hip hop group in my hometown.
What was their name?
Unanimous. And they were super dope, man. Still super talented. And they took me under their wings. Okay. And so I was able to have people that spoke into that. You know, so,
okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask like, about what age were you when Unanimous kind of took you up under your wing?
Man, I was 15.
And they were.
Man, they were like 21.
Oh, that's so dope.
Yeah.
So
that's some big roles, some mentorship.
Yeah. So by that time that I did quit hooping and stuff in high school, I was on a whole different type of time. So everybody that I was around was like 10 years, 8 years older than me. And so I had to grow up fast just because of the people that I was around. So,
you were mature. You had like a very like mature way about yourself. Yeah. And so what was your relationship like with God at the time? Obviously, you professing, proclaiming, performing. Yeah. Like, how were you processing internally, like the things of the faith, being a preacher's kid? Was this a lifestyle that you were pursuing wholeheartedly, or was it like, man, I'm still 15, 16, I'm trying to figure this out?
Yeah.
Talk about
man,
that.
it was a struggle. Okay. Because especially like, you know, we in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Georgia, Alabama. And so for me, I had a hard time really just seeing people really like live this thing out. And so at the time, like, you know, being a PK in the church, you see a lot of things in the church. You get a chance to see behind the scenes and everything. And so for me, like, I was trying to figure it out. It's like I'm rapping about God, but it was like still at the same time, like I still wasn't like living. I was a fan of Jesus, but I wasn't a follower of Jesus. And so when you in high school and you got so many different things and stuff that are going around you, and you like the outcast, you know, trying to make music for him and also trying to live for him, like that was hard for me. And so I feel like that's one of the things that had me wanting to really just throw in the towel as well, because it's like, yo, like I had people that were like, yo, like Dante, like he making Christian music, but this is the text message he just sent, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, that was tough. That was probably like the biggest hurdle I had to overcome, was really searching to see, can I really live this thing out for real? Like, I know I'm rapping about it, but it's like, is it possible to really live this thing out? And that's why, like, when I was talking about my mentors, the group Unanimous, guys like that really fed into me.
That's so dope.
And showed me like, yo, like, it don't mean nothing if you just rapping about it. It's just lip service. I think the Bible says, like, you sound like a clanging cymbal. And so my thing is, like, if you really gonna talk about it, live it. Because if you're not living it, then your music is a lie.
Dang, I'll let that marinate for a second.
Yeah.
That's real spill, real truth. At what point did you like kind of come around to like was it out of high school, like where you started to overcome? At what point was it like, man, I'm professing it, performing it, and I'm also trying to really walk this thing out? Was that like after high school? Talk about that transition into like your young adult years.
Yeah, so I would say it was around my senior year in high school. My senior year in high school, I had actually kind of took a break from actually like doing music like at the beginning of my senior year. Like I was trying to make sure like, yo, I gotta lock in, I gotta graduate.
Okay.
And then after that, man, during that time, I really got a chance to really just discover God for who he is. I think during that age, I was really like differentiating the difference between relationship and religion. Like, cause there was different things in the church during that time that I ain't understand. So, you know, like you grew up in the Baptist church, it's like the Remembrance of Me table and stuff like that. They like, man, like don't touch it or you gonna fall over dead. Like, so it's like, I'm trying different things out. So I'm like let me see what's gonna happen. And so like at that point, like I'm discovering. And so as I'm discovering, as I'm seeking God for myself, I'm like, Lord, like you're gonna have to show me like what you want me to do. Like I'm getting ready to graduate. Like, you know, I ain't got no scholarship. I don't know what college I'm going to. And I had ended up doing a year in community college. And even during that year in community college, man, like there was a studio on campus. And it was at a point where I wasn't even going to class. I was in the studio. Like that's where I was at. Yeah. Like grades is slipping. And I finally got to a point where I was like, bro, like I can't waste my time and I can't waste my folks' money. You know what I'm saying? So that's the time where I really was like, yo, like I'm finna lock in for real. And even backtracking, my senior year in high school, I recorded a joint. The joint went crazy. Okay. My high school gave me the high school on a Saturday and let me shoot a music video at my high school on Saturday. The music is my very first music video. Still out. It's called Eccentric.
That's amazing. So you were like a real, like, this story reminds me of some of like the like the era of hip hop, independent hip hop. Think about people like Master P, like really like even K-Joe in a lot of ways. Yeah. Early Lecrae, just like that independent, we gonna figure this. This is like before streaming era, before like platforms. Yeah. It's like, that's what it seemed like when I'm hearing your story, it was reminding me to that type of like grind. Yeah. Cause you were in Decatur or Huntsville. What city in Alabama were you in at the time?
Decatur.
Which is like how big, how small?
Decatur is pretty small. Okay. Like, you know, and even when it comes to like the music thing, like we don't get a chance to see a lot of people make it out of Decatur, Alabama. So a lot of in Decatur has come a long way, man. There's so many great things that's coming out of Decatur now, and it has been. But you know, from a music standpoint, it really wasn't. It's like if you don't have life figured out in Decatur, it's kind of one of the things. It's like go get you a plant job, and nothing is wrong.
Get you what?
Go get you a plant job. Go work at a plant, and there's absolutely nothing wrong.
Shout out. Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing wrong working at a plant. I feel like, you know, God can call the people working plant. You know, they need
I think it's interesting because like we hear people who like from like small town America. Yeah. And they're you and your wife live in Atlanta now. But there is like a story about like the people who were you know, from a small town. Yeah. Kind of stood out in that small town, but always kind of had a purpose and calling for a little bit something bigger. Not to shade the small town you were from, but did you always kind of feel like I'm supposed to grow out of it? I'm supposed to expand past this a little bit. Did you kind of always feel that?
Yeah, always, man. So even when I met my wife eventually, like, you know, I moved to Huntsville, Alabama. Sure. Huntsville's 30 minutes outside of Decatur, but it still just expanded my mind. Sure. I just feel like it's very important. Like, in order to see something that you've never seen before, you got to do something that you ain't never done. You got to get a new circle. Like, so I realized the importance of surrounding yourself around people that's where you want to be at, you know what I'm saying? And so just gleaning from that wisdom. And so I'm like, yo, like in my hometown, like I've really never seen this done before. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I got to expand.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when I first met you, it's probably like 3 years ago or something. Yeah. And first of all, your grind is very commendable. Like, man, I used to see Dante. First of all, I've seen him on my timeline. The man is very, very driven. Shout out, God gave you a godly ambition. And I would just see you at events. I was like, oh, I see you and your wife. I'm like, I'm always seeing you, and you always. I think you even sent me some music, and I was probably a harsh critic, which I that's probably like, man, this dude Ace is trash. But I text you back on something. I was just like, but it seemed like the person that I was engaged in, something about you felt like, you know what, I'm probably gonna see this guy again. Like he's gonna come back around. And I feel like, talk about how you got from, you know, moving to Huntsville, getting married, and all these things to now being like a officially like signed Christian hip hop artist. I mean, this is like literally middle school in the making. Like, talk about how you got to where you are now.
And man, I want to say I appreciate you. I did, y'all. I sent Ace some music to his phone. And when I tell you, bro, like, you kept it a buck. Like, you kept it a buck. You was like, yo, like, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what you said, but the song that I sent you was like, yeah, like, this one ain't it. And so, man, I respected that, man, because it's not too many people in a space that will be honest with you.
Sure.
And it's like, I feel like a lot of people, they feel like just because you're doing it for God, they feel like you can just throw out anything. It's like God deserves excellence. Like, we want to be excellent in what we do and what he's called us to.
I appreciate you too, because sometimes I try to guard my feedback in a way that's, will be received well. But when I would see you around, some people, when you give them like a very critical like feedback on something, because and they may look at you in a certain way. Trust me, I've been on the other side of it too, right? I've been in rooms in LA and had people be like, yo, these pieces trash. Yeah. So like I've been there. But I feel like when I would see you around, it wasn't like no harbored, grudge or like no weird, man, they overlooking me. Sometimes you get that in this space where it's like, bro, my opinion is my opinion. First of all, if you got it, I can't stop you anyway. I can't gatekeep what God's gonna give you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So either God's gonna open up that door. Who am I to stop what God's gonna do through you? Nobody, right? So I feel like you were very like you carry a certain joy about yourself. When I see you, I don't know where I know where it comes from, but it's just refreshing to see to see a black man, authentically Christian, authentically black, and you smile and you're excited, you're enthusiastic. It's like, bro, there's so much joy that I see in you, which is just refreshing to see. So keep that going, bro.
Yeah, and I appreciate it so much, bro. But I just feel like a lot of that has to do with just like me finally discovering who I am, like my identity in Christ. And it's like when you know who you are, it's like literally anybody can say anything. And so, but like I said, man, I respected that. And I remember I had went back to shout out to my big bro, man, Kelvin Wooten. I went back to Kelvin Wooten. I was like, man, I sent Ace some music. I don't think he like it. And Kelvin just encouraged me. He was like, bro, like just keep working. Like don't stop. Like just keep working, man. And so
shout out Kelvin. Amazing.
Shout out Kelvin, man. And so I appreciate that.
So talk about how'd you get where you at now? Like,
man, woo, okay. So I want to say, was it September? I want to say it was September. Lisa Page Brooks had dropped this viral clip. And it's like, the devil is a liar. Yeah. So I heard it and I just kept seeing it. I kept seeing it on my timeline. I would get on Facebook. People would literally just post, the devil is a liar, and people would comment, yeah. So kept seeing the video. And so one night, me and my wife, we just sitting on the couch. Like, we getting ready to cut on something on Netflix. I don't know. She probably was finna have me watching Bridgerton or something. But yeah, I'm not a producer. I write, but I don't produce. Like, I don't play keys. I don't do samples. I don't sample beats. I don't make my beats. And so literally I'm sitting on the couch and literally I hear the Holy Spirit say, go in there and throw some trap drums on this recording, on this video. And I'm like, for one, I didn't feel like it. Like I was like, I'm tired. And speaking of the grind, man, I used to, anybody that know me, they'd be like, Dante done had like 9 lives at such a young age, because I've done everything from working at a bank. I done drove trucks. I done worked at a pest control company, being up on the houses. Like, I literally grind. Like, I wasn't out here being a starving artist. It's like, Lord, like,
you working.
I'm
working.
A job. I'm working. It's like, I'm gonna work these jobs until you tell me otherwise. And so me and my wife, we sitting on the couch and I'm like, yo, I guess I'm finna go in here and throw some drums on this. And like I said, going back to me not feeling like it, a lot of people miss out on opportunity because of lack of obedience. And so people don't understand, we treat God a lot of times like a president. And when I say that, when you have a president, you got polls. So it's like you get to vote for what you want to do. But when you have a Lord, when he say do it, you do it. So a lot of time people miss out on opportunities just because of their lack of obedience and their lack of their yes. And so when I heard that, I went in there and I made it happen. Got in there, threw some drums and stuff over the sample, and I recorded over it. And I came back to my wife. I was like, yo, it's kind of sliding. And so it was made to just be a social media post. I was just gonna post a quick clip on social media, and then it literally took off. Like, it went viral. And I had reached out to Tasha Page Lockhart, who's the daughter of Lisa Page. And I was like, yo, this song is going viral right now. It's just supposed to be a clip, but like, can I actually do a joint to it? And she was like, yeah, like, send me a full song. We'll see what we think. I did a full song and she was like, oh my gosh. We released it. She released her version that's called The Grateful Chant, Lisa Page Brooks. Went crazy. And then I got a chance to go back and resample what she put out. And it changed my life forever. To the point during that season, I was doing disciplinary at elementary school.
What you mean doing
at the time? So
This man said live. Nah.
Passing out whoopings. But I was an ISS instructor.
Oh,
So
gosh.
when
They
students,
hate seeing you, boy.
yeah, so when the students got in trouble, like they would send them to me. And so it definitely was dope because the students knew that I rapped. And so they'd come in, like it was just super inspiring, I know, for them. Like, yo, like he here, ISS teacher, but he also living out his, his dream on social media. They see me on social media and TikTok and all that. And so anyway, during that season, I knew that God had called me there to be in that school. I ain't know why, but usually the jobs and stuff that I would get, people would just hand them to me. Like it would be one of them things where I wouldn't have to fill out an application. Like it literally just be one of them things like we want to hire you. So it was a principal at the church the church that we were serving at literally just hired me for that job. And so I was there serving at the school. And so, the school system is not a lot, of funds, in the school, and especially being an ISS teacher.
Right.
Like I wasn't making a lot.
Sure.
And so literally God was taking care of us, man. And shout out to my beautiful wife, man. She stuck beside me because she seen the vision before she saw it.
Yeah.
And so, man, it changed my life. It was paying mortgage.
That's so dope.
Yeah. And so that right there is what changed everything. Then Transformation Church happened like the next month.
Wow.
And Pastor Mike Todd, me and Pastor Mike Todd had talked in 2022. That's when he first reached out to me about doing the Undefeated Champion project. And it just goes to show, like with the yeah. When Mike Todd first reached out to me, I thought that was the moment. I was like, this is the moment where I have my breakout. But God allowed me to release yeah first. And I believe he done it like that is because when God moves, he's going to make sure that nobody else gets the credit but him.
Facts.
And so it's like, yeah. Then Pastor Mike Todd with Undefeated Champion. Then right after that, I signed the Capitol Records. The day that I signed the Capitol Records, I get a call from Change Church that I got the job to be you pastor.
Slow down, Dante.
The same day.
We gotta dive into
the same day.
That's so inspiring. I'm so happy that you touched on that, because I've even seen the fruit of that in my life, where God will show you a taste of certain things, but he will always point you back to the thing he told you to do last. And people just don't understand the catalyst that happens in obedience. I'm so grateful you shared that. Okay, so we got to dive into this signing. You kind of segued into it a little bit, but I'm curious to what connection you made and with everyone at Capitol, and then just the whole snowball after that. Yeah.
When it came to Capitol, I got a chance to meet, shout out to Drea. Got a chance to write with Drea, getting some studio, had a studio session with Drea. But no way, they weren't interested in signing me at the time. Literally, when I tell you it was a God thing, shout out to Walter. Walter literally told me, like, he was like, man, I've never listened to this guy's music like that. He was like, I heard yeah. But he had never like listened to my joints. And so literally he said he was on the beach with his daughter. He said clear as day, he said this has never happened to him before. He said he literally heard the voice of the Lord tell him, like, sign Dante Pride. He was like, what? Like, nah, like this ain't right. Like this is probably just me. And so I think he said, like, yo, like if I go into the office on Monday morning and I bring it up and the team with it, like we'll do it. He went to the office and they was like, yeah, like let's make it happen. And so it was just so crazy. It was literally just God ordained, man. And I think what's so crazy about that too, just to show you, this is nuts. I promise you, we're gonna write a book one day. But literally, I think the year before we were at the Stellar Awards in Vegas, and you got all the after parties and stuff like that are going on. And so I didn't have an invitation to an after party. So, I had barely got on the carpet, that year. And so we seen, I ain't gonna even shout his name out, but I had seen somebody that works for Stellars that was going into the party. And so it was a light-skinned brother. I'm a light-skinned brother. So I was like, let me walk in behind him. They're gonna think I'm his grandson or nephew or something. So I'm walking in behind him and we go into this party, and the party was put on by Tamla. So the funny thing is, I'm in there, me and my wife, we like, where's Tamla Man? Like, we thought this was a person. And I'm like, yo, it's a record label. Like, we at a Capitol joint. And so, man, we just in there vibing. And to go from that to sneaking in a party to being signed a year later is absolutely nuts. And so just being a part of Capital, man, it's been super dope. I love the team. It's a family. Shout out, we got Lee Vazzi over there.
Shout out Lee.
Yeah. Who else we got? We got Tim Bowman. I just recently signed with Tamala, and then Capital overall. I can't name all of them, but you got Gio, Childlike CC.
CC over there.
Man, it's so many dope, amazing artists, man. So I'm grateful for the opportunity.
That's
Man,
dope.
what does it mean to you? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've loved seeing their roster grow, and a lot of people in Christian R&B and Christian hip hop. What does it mean to you to be in addition to that? You know what I'm saying? To see the rise of CHH and that you're a part of that with Capital.
Man, it's amazing. I feel like now, man, CHH, man, it's gotten so broad. I think Miles Minnick, he'll say it all the time, like, welcome to the new mainstream. And so
shout out Miles.
just being able just to be a part of something that's, man, this is kingdom. Like, this is kingdom, man. Like, I feel like there's so many dope artists and stuff that are out in Christian hip hop now. And what I feel like, man, we're learning the importance in CHH now, like, that it takes a team. Like, I was reading this quote that Pat Riley said. He was talking about Michael Jordan. And he said with Michael Jordan, like, I think he didn't win a championship until his 7th year. So until his 7th year, he earning trophies and awards and stuff like that. But it wasn't until his 7th year until he won a championship. And so he said Michael Jordan won a championship because he realized that individuals win trophies, but teams win championships. So I feel like, man, I've been seeing so much collaboration and coming together with Christian hip hop. And I believe like we taking the kingdom by storm. So I'm just excited and just overjoyed, man, just to be a part of the number. So.
Sheesh, man. That was beautifully said.
Well said.
Very well said.
So talk about being, like God's faithfulness, like in your life to pretty much take you through a long season of developing, waiting, right? Because I mean, again, you've been doing this for so long, but you're so young. Talk about how you can explain or speak to God's faithfulness in your life and the relief you feel get into a space of being a signed artist when you've been, you've been a hometown hero for so long. Talk about that feeling a little bit.
I feel like to describe his faithfulness is just the no's that he's given me. We talked about the yes at the beginning, but I feel like his no's that, man, I ain't gonna cry.
So good. We want you to.
I just feel like at the end of the day, man, the times that I thought that I was ready, I wasn't ready. It's like, the fact that he loves me so much that he like, yo, like, I'm gonna keep you hidden so that you won't get out here and you won't get your head knocked off. Because man, like in the day of social media, like, it's so much like you underneath a microscope. And I just feel like God, he was like, man, like, I'm gonna make sure my son is ready before I throw him out here prematurely. So I feel like with just looking back on the faithfulness and the goodness of God, I'm just so appreciative of the no's that he gave me. Because if he would have just let me wander out, man, ain't no telling where I would have been. It could have been scandals out, like, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. And so I'm just so grateful to God for his protection. Grateful for his protection. And then he also shows his faithfulness by my wife. I'm a huge advocate, man, for kingdom marriages. And I just believe, man, by him sending me this woman of God, like, say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. I believe, man, there's doors and stuff that are open, that have opened up for me because of that woman that's by my side.
Facts.
And I also believe there's been protection, a hedge of protection that's been around me because of that praying woman that's by my side. And so, and he just showed his faithfulness just by his protection, man, over the years. So,
yeah, that's powerful, man. It's I'm overjoyed just even outside of the industry, just to hear your heart for what you do is amazing and so needed. And I want to keep echoing that. And it's like, it reminds me that God answers prayers with a no sometimes too. Yeah. And it's like his no's
still an answer.
It's still an answer.
Yeah.
And it's a form of protection. And it's actually is rooted in love. Yeah. I love you so much, I'm gonna tell you no for what you asking. Because it's to protect you from what you can't handle. And I think that's how many times do we surrender and submit to God's no's? Yeah. And it can hurt. It can sting sometimes. Like, God, I want. He's like, nah. So shout out to that. And even you being like a youth pastor, and you want to speak in like, you are giving me like someone who's like a mature young man who's like grounded spiritually, which is like really dope to have a platform. We want more people to have that.
Yeah.
Saying kingdom Christian hip hop platforms, but who are really grounded spiritually.
Yeah.
Because that's important, man. This
Is it?
These podcast equipments, these accolades, all those rings, those championships. I mean, what's that going to be in light of eternity anyway, right?
Facts. Come on.
What's it really going to be? So I think that's good that you're grounded and planted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
come on.
How did you get the connection with being at Change? Were you a member at Change before you?
I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've youth pastored before. I've been a youth pastor. I've always had a heart for next gen. I've been in young adult ministries. But literally how that happened was just so crazy. I got reached out to by my bro. He told me that they were looking for next gen pastor because we just opened up a new location out in DeKalb and so in Stone Mountain. And so he reached out to me and it was a long process. Like I remember even during my hiring process, like when I went down there for the interview, came up here for the interview, I found out I was preaching that day. And so, yeah. So the day I came for my interview, I ended up, preaching. And man, when I tell you, man,
at the church?
At the church. It was for the youth service. They had a youth service.
That was like the part of the interview process?
I think, yeah.
Oh, I want to see what you had.
Let me see if he know the
Whoa,
word.
this is, Darius, what we doing out here? Come on, Pastor. That's amazing.
But man, I really respected that, man. And so I got up there and I was able to share with the youth. And I want to say that was in January. And like I said, I had my signing party with Capital in March. And literally as I'm leaving out the hotel to go to the signing party, that's when I got the call. It's like, yo, like we want to offer you the position for Change. And so I just feel like just to be able to show them something different. So when I go into high schools, I just went to Stone Mountain High School the other day. And I was talking to a student and he overheard a conversation I was having. He came up to me, he was like, you a pastor? And I was like, yeah, because, they probably used to seeing a pastor look a certain way. And so I also got a chance to tell him, I was like, not only am I a youth pastor, like I'm a rapping youth pastor. And he was like, they laughed. They thought it was funny. So they went back and looked at the IG. And when they looked at it, like, they was like, wow, like, oh my gosh. And that same kid was a rapper. And so, but he ain't rapping for the Lord. But, in that moment, I'm able to show them like, yo, you actually you can live for Christ. You can be swaggy. And then you can rap for him as well. So I'm just excited to be a part of Change under the leadership of Pastor Darius and Shamika. They the GOATs, in my opinion. I love them. And we just here to just show a generation that it's okay to be relevant, but we want to show them that not so relevant to where we're compromising righteousness.
Yeah.
So
I want to ask you this just because what we see is one side is all these blessings happening, man. Like you get signed, you get right after the signing party, you get the call that you're the pastor, the youth pastor at Change. And what comes along with that is of course, I hate to say the word burden, but there's a weight that comes with like these blessings. Like now you're managing being an artist. And like you were saying, you got studio time after this, you're going to be late nights and you got deadlines and yet you got to preach on Sunday. So I just want to know, what has the balance been for you, the rhythm that you've been developing with having both of these blessings, being able to maintain and steward them both well?
Yeah, I love that question. Because I feel like they both deserve 100%. Capital is expecting me to 100% deliver, and so is Change. They get all of me. And so, for one, I think scheduling has been so important for me in this season, like to the point, like mapping out my day, even to the point of scheduling a long time with God, because it's so important, because you can get in a rhythm and you forget the important thing to be at his feet. And so I just feel like that is what keeps me from getting overwhelmed. And also because he called me to it. I tell people all the time, it's like, yo, like you got people that's running around doing different things at one time just because they can do it. And it's like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And a lot of people, they spend time, they don't schedule, and they just got their hands in everything. And it's like, you don't get an award for being stressed out. The award that you get for being stressed out is a casket. That's the award. That's the award for being stressed out.
Yeah,
is a casket, and then also crash out, the 2 C's. And so for me, man, I just believe he's called me to it, to a point when I get a chance to go in and record and write music, when I get a chance to go into the workspace at Change, man, like it just really it's a zeal that happens, because it's like, Lord, like this is what you've called me to. And so and then also like, moments where it can get super busy and super hectic, like I have to remind myself, I'm like, yo, like you are living in times that you prayed for, like you prayed for this. And so man, it's just a blessing. So I just feel like scheduling That's what keeps me on the rhythm. And then also it's just that Holy Spirit juice. Because he called me to it. So, yep.
Because I feel like sometimes you get God gives you a certain amount of blessings because he still wants you to know that you still need him.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
on.
Like, I'm not going to lie, Dante. You being able to balance being a youth pastor and an artist, I know it ain't nobody but the Holy Spirit helping you do that. So you even giving that credit in where it's due is so respected. But one thing I thought was really interesting about you with just diving into your story, and so one of the adjectives I saw someone describe you as was a culture shifter.
Yeah.
And you're in so many different spheres of influence. Even just thinking about the things that you've done, being pest control and then being an ISS teacher and then now a youth pastor and now being an influencer in music and so many different avenues, you being a husband, a friend, different things like that. When it comes to you shifting different atmospheres, what is your main goal when it comes to being that change in certain atmospheres where you may not see, but it's necessary for you to shift those atmospheres?
Yeah, I just feel like it's just important just to go in being yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like so many times people try to force moments and stuff like that. And it's like, lights don't talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you walk in a room, like, you're shifting the room just by your presence being in there. And so it's to the point, man, like, and I keep going back to this just that a long time because I just want people to understand that, like, it's so important just to be at his feet. So, man, when I walk in spaces, when I walk in rooms, especially, you know, we out here in Atlanta, like, you know, it's Zoo Atlanta out here. So, you know, when I walk into different rooms, man, it's like, people don't even know why sometimes, but it's like a different reverence. Like, so, you know, if somebody in the room and a cuss word may slip out and they like, oh, my bad. And sometimes I feel like people use them moments to be like, oh, no, you good. It's like, no, like, let them respect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let them honor because it ain't me. It's the Holy Spirit. So I just feel like for me, just encouraging myself, man, just be yourself in whatever room that you step in. Like, understand, like, even when I speak, like, I'm not cooking for me. Like, I'm cooking for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like just walking in obedience, being yourself, being true and authentic. And I just feel like that's how you stick to being a culture shifter. You're a culture shifter by being who God has called you to be.
Nah, facts, bro. I'm so grateful the fact that you've stayed the course, because I'm not gonna lie, doing something when you was you said in middle school all the way into you being 27. You could have stayed at the pest control. Like, you know, you could have did the plant job, you know, but you being able to stay consistent and have what Ace was talking about, that I really like that he said, that godly ambition, because you can have ambition for yourself, but when you have ambition that's fueled by God, it's a whole nother level. Man, we're able to see the fruit, like you were saying at the top of the show. We're able to now see the fruit of everything you have because of the roots and how God had you planted, bro. So thank you for being consistent, because we're all able to bask in the goodness of God by him using you. So, bro, thank you so much for being here. And we hope that everyone who is listening was able to be encouraged by Dante's story, for you to be able to keep going, for you to be able to stay rooted in God that alone time. So therefore, when it's your time, it's your season, you can bear fruit as well. So shout out to everyone that listened to this episode, man. We're so grateful for Dante. Shout out to his beautiful wife, L'Oreal, who's in the building. Shout out to Matt for holding us down. Shout out Ace, man. Shout out to everyone tuning in for this episode of the 116 Live here on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius XM, channel 140. Signing off. We'll see you guys next week.